Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about being sick and coping. Now in a previous episode we did speak about curveballs and how we can eat curveballs for a home run. But today I want to talk to you about a curveball that almost had me on my knees, that almost took me to my breaking point. And that curveball is sickness. Now God's plan for us never really included sickness. I don't think God wanted us to get sick. But because of our transgressions in the Garden of Eden, we brought it upon ourselves to get sick. Now, some people, and that includes me, sometimes ask the question, why me? Why is this happening to me? We think it's because of our individual sins that we get sick. We think it's about something that we have done, and now God is punishing us and making us sick. But that is not true at the end of the day. And I have asked this a lot because I became sick in 2011. When I go to the toilet, there's just blood coming out, lots of blood. The whole toilet is red. Sometimes I vomit blood and I have this stomach pains that I can't even walk. I must just lie on a bed and go for pain injections, and it was bad. We really thought I was going to die. I was cut open like 17 times to try and figure out what's going on with me, and no one can tell me why I'm sick. So I really definitely thought that God made me sick to punish me for something that I have done. And nobody could tell me what the reason is for my sickness. I really thought, what have I done? Why me? Why is this happening? And then one day I went to church again, and there was this lady that was also sick, and then she got healed. And now she and her husband is driving all over South Africa and speaking to people about what happened to her and giving a testimony. And then after the service, we were just sitting there in the church talking to some people, and she came to me and told me that I'm not a real Christian and I shouldn't even call myself a Christian, because if I served God the way I should have served God, He would have healed me. Because of the fact that I doesn't get healed, I can't call myself a Christian. And that made me somewhat upset, and also it made me stressed a bit, because I was thinking to myself, is this lady correct by what she's saying, or is she wrong? Because if she's right, then it means that my whole life I lived for nothing. I always believed in God and I always served God, and I've never turned against God. So many things happened to my life. I was molested. I had a heart attack in matric. I couldn't get my matric. I had a divorce. My first child almost died when she was born, and then I got sick and I almost died how many times, and my children had to grow up in hospitals, and my whole life was a mess. But through all of that, I still served God always. I never pushed God away. I did ask the question, why is this happening to me? But I always believe that whatever happens to me is God's will, and at the end of the day He will take me through it. And now she's telling me this. So I was worried if I've lived my life right. I was really worried about this, and I prayed to God and I said to God, please just give me an answer. I need an answer now to just know, why is this happening now? And then God gave me the answer. We have physical bodies prone to disease and illness. Some sickness is just a thing that happens in life. It's something that happens in the world. Everybody gets sick and everybody gets healed. And although most sickness is a result of a natural thing that happens, some sickness is because of a demon that attacks you. And you can read about a demon attack in Matthew 17 verse 14 to 18 and Luke 13 verse 10 to 16. Now this means that some sickness is not from God, but from Satan. God sometimes allows the devil to cause physical suffering, like what we read about in Job, what happened to Job. The devil has done everything to Job in his power to make him turn against God, but he couldn't. And you can go read Job and you'll see everything that happened to Job. But one thing that you must always remember is that God is always in control. It doesn't matter if He allows the devil to do things with us. He is always in control of our lives. In James, we read that we must submit to God. and we must resist the devil, then he will flee away from us. So if we can resist the attacks of the devil against us, he will flee away from us. Now I must also remember that it's not always a demon attack on you when you get sick. Every time you get sick, you can't think that the devil is against you and the demons are attacking you and that's the reason why you are sick. There is natural ways of also getting sick. If you look at people, for instance, that gets lung cancer, it's not always people that has smoked their whole life that gets lung cancer. There's people that gets lung cancer that has never touched a cigarette in their lives, but they still get it. And then there's people who smoked all their lives that never did get lung cancer. In Timothy, we read how Paul tried to heal Timothy, but he couldn't do it. And how Paul himself had a thorn in his flesh, and God didn't heal him as well. God told him that his grace was sufficient enough for him, and he didn't have to heal him. God's power was made perfect in the suffering of Paul, and Paul was exactly where God wanted him to be. We as humans are weak, but with God we are strong. So I've given my sickness to God, and I know through my sickness people will see God's strength. I am exactly where God wants me to be, and without God I wouldn't have made it till now. I would not have overcome this in my own strength. And what I'm saying now is not that God cannot heal me, or that God cannot heal, doesn't want to heal people. He wants to heal people. He doesn't want people to be sick. Now you must think of this. If God heals everybody that's sick, then how will people die? If everybody can just pray and say, God, I'm sick, heal me. Or if people are dying, they just pray and say, God, I'm dying, save me. And God does that. How will people die at the end of the day? So yes, some people will get healthy and some people will not get healthy. But that doesn't mean that God didn't want them to get healthy. Like I said, it wasn't in God's plan for us to suffer. It wasn't in God's plan for us to get sick. We've bring this over ourselves. And through all of this, I've realized that God gave me the answer that I was looking for. Why am I sick and I didn't die? And why doesn't I get healed? And why did that lady got healed? And the answer is actually easy. I've loved God all my life. I've served God all my life. I will never turn against God. I don't have to get healed to believe in God. So even if I don't get healed, I will still believe in God and I will always believe in God. But that lady had to get healed to believe in God. So maybe before time she did think she believed, or maybe she didn't believe. And then after she got healed, she was going around speaking to people, giving a testimony, and she believed in God because He did something for her. Where I didn't need that. I was a child of God before I got healed. I was a child of God before I got sick. So at the end of the day, God didn't have to do something for me to believe. And it's the same with Paul. And it's the same with little John in the Bible. Those people were also sick. Jesus was with little John on earth. And Jesus never healed a little John. He left him just as he was. He said it wasn't necessary for him to heal him. And that's what I've learned. Sometimes God does heal us, and sometimes He doesn't. We must just always remember, we can't always get what we ask, but God will always give us what we need. I hope you guys will subscribe to the channel, and like the channel and share it with some friends. My views are really bad. I can't believe that people doesn't go and watch what I have to say. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, full of miracles. God bless you. Goodbye.